The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. It's 5 a.m. on this back-to-school day. I am Maddie Jansen. We begin with your 17 Court Watch this morning. Our cameras were rolling when a man who was accused in a deadly stabbing lost control in the courtroom. 56-year-old Joseph Neve was arrested Sunday night. Bakersfield police say he stabbed a man on 25th Street earlier that day, killing him. Yesterday, Neve was supposed to enter a plea on charges of first-degree murder, but was pulled from the courtroom before that happened. He asked in court what he was charged with, and the outburst ensued after he was told. He is due back in court later today. And a man accused of threatening to blow up the Tehachapi Police Department has taken a plea deal. 55-year-old Robert Kovac pleaded no contest to making a destructive device without a permit. Kovac faces a year in jail, followed by a year of supervised release. He also must stay away from the police department. He is due to be sentenced next month. Earlier this week, police said Kovac believed that Tehachapi police had murdered his friend. Then he threatened to blow up the department. Police say they discovered explosive material inside Kovac's car, along with drugs, ammunition, and a grenade. From our 17 follow-up file now, it has been 2 weeks since a woman was wounded in a shooting outside the Valley Plaza Mall. Rumors have been swirling ever since, but Bakersfield police remain tight-lipped. The shooting happened at the parking lot outside the Red Robin restaurant. There were some reports that the shooting was the result of a dog theft, but Bakersfield police neither confirmed nor denied those reports. No arrests have been made. Another local restaurant has again been the target of vandals. However, the owner in this case says he forgives whoever did it. According to a Facebook post, Cubby's Chicago-style pizza in Southwest Bakersfield was the victim of an apparent break-in. You can see the glass on the door shattered, missing, and instead a piece of plywood in its place. The Facebook post reads in part, "I forgive the individuals who did this. You didn't get a dime, but all you had to do was ask. I would have given you all the money in my wallet." No further information on the break-in was available. Your time now is 5:05. Turning now to education news. Colleges are looking for new ways to ChatGPT-proof assignments, and they're doing it by going old school. These days, some students are turning to artificial intelligence to get their work done. The bot uses unique words when generating text, which makes it difficult for professors to figure out whether students are using the AI tool. In order to prevent cheating, some educators are turning back the clock, issuing paper exams, and doing away with digital ones. Other professors are also requiring students to provide their editing history and drafts. The changes come as teachers grapple with how best to integrate AI into their classrooms. Turning now to the devastation in Maui. Members of FEMA toured Lahaina after those deadly wildfires ripped through the area. The massive blaze destroyed much of the historic town. Thousands were forced to evacuate, and more than 2,700 structures have been destroyed. The exact cause of this blaze is still not known. At least 106 people have died from this devastating fire, and the death toll is expected to climb as searches continue. Hawaii's governor says about $6 billion worth of infrastructure was destroyed. And a local volunteer with the American Red Cross is in Maui this morning, helping displaced families pick up the pieces. 17's Rob Hagan spoke with her about the situation there and how you can help those who've lost so much.
When disaster strikes, the American Red Cross is there, period.
She needs to talk to somebody. She needs help because she is housing the remaining family members who were able to escape, and some were not.
This is just one of the countless stories of tragedy people are going through in Maui after a wildfire burned through the city, claiming lives and property. But one Red Cross volunteer says the fire will never destroy hope.
Some of the local musicians have come to entertain and play and sing for them. Children were coloring as if they really didn't have a care in the world.
The Red Cross provides mental, physical, and spiritual help for thousands, but it takes volunteers.
But we do have on the ground here and some virtual, over 250 volunteers working this operation.
Hughie says the Red Cross is focused on sheltering the displaced and providing hot meals and cool drinks, but they still need your help.
If we all do a little bit, it becomes a lot of bits for the good.
You could sign up to be a volunteer at redcross.org or text Hawaii to 90999 to make a $10 donation. In the meantime, the Red Cross will continue to provide hope and smiles.
The Red Cross is working very hard here to provide comfort and care, and we will be here until we're not needed anymore.
I'm Rob Hagan with 17 News.
Meantime, a locally owned business is doing its part to help those survivors. Maui Pho is holding a fundraiser today at their restaurant on Ming Avenue. Also, dancers from Aloha Entertainment will perform tonight from 5:30 to 9:30. The restaurant says it will donate 100% of today's sales to the Maui Humane Society and Maui United Way. All right, state news this morning. We could be finding out the future of a bill that seeks to classify child sex trafficking as a serious felony in California. This bill is also known as SB 14. It was proposed by State Senator Shannon Grove, and it's due for a hearing in Sacramento today. Last month, the Democrats blocked the bill, only to reverse course 2 days later, voting in favor of it after they received massive pushback and scrutiny. However, some of those who voted for it say it still has flaws and could potentially put victims behind bars. Grove says that outcome is not likely. In just a few hours, the bill is set for a hearing at the Assembly Appropriations Committee. A Bakersfield boy is happy to be home this morning after spending weeks in a hospital bed recovering from a hit-and-run crash that still hasn't led to any arrests. Last month, 12-year-old Kiwan Shepard and 2 other kids were hit by a car while riding their bikes on Plans Road. The driver didn't stop. 2 of the boys walked away from the crash, but Shepard was taken to Valley Children's Hospital in Madera with critical injuries. His mother tells 17 News the family finally arrived home last night, but Kiwan will have to be homeschooled. She says he needs 24-hour care and won't be able to play sports for a year. And she is still hoping that the driver of that car will come forward. And making headlines around the nation, allies and opponents of former President Donald Trump are reacting to his latest indictment. This new prosecution in Georgia is the 4th criminal indictment against Trump. And now the wait is over to see when Mr. Trump will turn himself in. NBC's Chris Pallone has more from Washington.
In Georgia, preparations now underway for former President Donald Trump to turn himself in to face his latest criminal indictment. With an August 25th deadline looming, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office says it's expected Mr. Trump and the 18 other defendants will be booked at the county jail like anyone else arrested there, though it's not known when the former president plans to show up. The Trump team continuing to attack the prosecution on air and online, even with help from GOP rivals.
We see the legal system being weaponized against political opponents. That is un-American and unacceptable.
Mr. Trump said he will prove fraud took place in Georgia's election at a news conference next week, a claim quickly refuted by the state's Republican governor, Brian Kemp, who posted the 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. Our elections in Georgia are secure, accessible, and fair. Among those charged, along with the former president, attorney Rudy Giuliani, who made a name for himself as a prosecutor using racketeering laws to take down the mafia in New York, now facing similar charges.
This is a ridiculous application of the racketeering statute. There's probably no one that knows it better than I do.
Still unclear whether this latest indictment will change voters' minds about Mr. Trump.
Yep.
What do you think?
Sick of him.
You're sick of him?
Yep. It's got to go.
The Democrats are scared to death, and they'll do anything they can to keep a Republican, much less Donald Trump, get in office.
The first Republican debate for the 2024 nomination is just a week away. It's expected that many charged in Georgia will push to have the case heard in federal court. Yesterday, former Chief of Staff under President Trump, Mark Meadows, became the first to file for that. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Meantime, House Speaker and Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy also weighed in on the most recent indictment. McCarthy writing on X, quote, "Justice should be blind, but Biden has weaponized government against his leading political opponent to interfere in the 2024 election." Now, a radical DA in Georgia is following Biden's lead by attacking President Trump and using it to fundraise her political career. Americans see through this desperate sham. The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.